The observation deck of the Galactic Conservation Station orbited the verdant moon of Theta 7, where Emma Chen stood reviewing her field reports. The holographic display flickered with data streams about the indigenous fauna, specifically, the apex predators known locally as razorbacks. "You're insane," Harry Mitchell said, adjusting his exosuit's medical scanners. "The breeding season just started. The females are especially aggressive." Emma didn't look up from her datapad. "That's exactly why we need to go. The Council wants behavioral data during peak protective instincts. How else are we supposed to understand them?" The Catharian observer, Velkus, chittered nervously from across the room. His crystalline exoskeleton reflected the station's ambient light in prismatic patterns. "Human Emma, I must protest. Razorback matriarchs have a bite force exceeding 12,000 newtons. Your species' fragility is well documented." "Noted," Emma said, already heading toward the shuttle bay. The forest floor of Theta 7 was a carpet of bioluminescent moss that pulsed with each footstep. Emma and Harry moved through the undergrowth, their suits dampening fields minimizing their thermal and olfactory signatures. Above them, the canopy writhed with life, serpentine climbers hunting in coordinated packs. "Contact," Harry whispered, his heads-up display marking 3 heat signatures ahead. 2 adults, 1 juvenile. 50 meters bearing 270. Emma crouched behind a massive root structure, her helmet's enhanced vision piercing the shadows. The razorbacks were magnificent. Each adult stood 3 meters tall at the shoulder, their scales shifting through colors that didn't exist in human perception. Electromagnetic organs along their spines crackled with warning discharges. The cub was smaller, barely a meter high, its scales still showing juvenile patterns. It played at the edge of the clearing, pouncing on glowing insects. "Getting baseline readings," Emma murmured, her suit's sensors working silently. "Harry, are you seeing this protein structure in their neural tissue? It's completely unknown." "I'm more concerned about the fact that Mama just looked our way." The matriarch had indeed stopped, her head swiveling. Emma froze. The dampening field should have been perfect. Should have been. The cub squealed, a sound like tearing metal, and bounded toward them. "Emma, move." Harry grabbed her arm, but she shook him off. "Wait, don't run. That triggers prey response." The cub crashed through the undergrowth with all the grace of a drunken rhinoceros. Behind it, the adults bellowed, their electromagnetic fields creating visible distortions in the air. The forest floor trembled. The cub reached Emma first. It was curious, not aggressive, yet. Its enormous eyes, each containing hundreds of individual photoreceptors, studied her. Then, with the experimental nature of all young creatures, it opened its jaws and clamped down on her boot. Pain shot through Emma's foot. The suit's outer layer was reinforced polymer, but those teeth found weak points. Alarm shrieked in her helmet. "Hull breach detected," her suit's AI announced calmly. "Pressure seal engaged. Recommend immediate evacuation." The adults were charging now, their roars splitting the air. "Emma!" Harry raised his neural disruptor, but she pushed his arm down. "No weapons. That'll guarantee they kill us." Instead, Emma did something that made Harry question her sanity more than usual. She started walking. The cub, still clamped to her boot, came along for the ride. All 200 kilograms of juvenile apex predator, now hanging from her foot like a bizarre ornament. "Human Emma, your vital signs are erratic." Velkus's voice crackled through the comm. "Return to the shuttle immediately." "Can't run," Emma grunted, dragging her leg forward. The cub swung with each step, growling around her boot. "Running means prey. Walking means something else." The matriarch skidded to a stop 5 meters away, confusion evident in her posture. Her mate circled, electromagnetic field pulsing uncertainly. This wasn't normal prey behavior. Prey didn't ignore their offspring's attack and simply continue. Emma took another step. Then another. Her foot screamed in agony, and her suit's medical systems flooded her with painkillers. The cub seemed equally perplexed, its grip loosening slightly as if reconsidering its life choices. "Emma, you're leaving a blood trail," Harry said, keeping pace beside her, his body between her and the adults. "I know. Keep walking. Don't look at them directly." The matriarch paced alongside them now, her massive head lowering to investigate this strange creature that her cub had targeted. Emma could feel the hot breath through her suit's ventilation, could see each individual scale on the creature's snout. The cub finally let go. It dropped to the ground, looked up at Emma, then back at its mother. Then, in a display that would puzzle xenobiologists for decades, it made a sound that resembled laughter, a chittering, rumbling wheeze. The matriarch's electromagnetic field shifted from aggressive red to curious blue. She reached out with one massive claw and gently pushed her offspring toward the den. The cub went but kept looking back at Emma, as if the human was the most interesting toy it had encountered. The adults followed their cub, leaving the human standing in the clearing. Did that just happen? Harry breathed. Emma collapsed against a tree, her leg finally giving out. Get a sample of my blood from the trail. The cub's saliva mixed with it. Could be breakthrough research material. You're thinking about research? Emma, you just played chicken with a 3-ton murder machine and used its baby as a backpack. She laughed, the sound slightly hysterical. Human stubbornness. Works on Earth, works here. Back on the station, Velkis examined Emma's injury while muttering in his own language. The translation came through. Humans are either the bravest species in the galaxy or the most foolish. I cannot determine which. Emma smiled through the medical scan. Why not both? The data they collected that day revolutionized understanding of Theta 7's apex predators. But the real lesson spread through the Galactic Conservation Network. Humans don't stop. Not for pain, not for danger. Not even when a predator's cub is literally hanging from their leg, they just keep walking.